Welcome, Walnut. I'm Lara, but you can call me Laz, your host for Walnut Wednesday. This is your reminder to be brave, be yourself, and know that you can make the world a better place just by what you decide today. Here, I'm going to share my weekly walnuttings with you on a Wednesday.
Hello, Walnut. It is me, Laz, here for the 6th birthday episode of Walnut Wednesday, and I felt it upon myself to pull some cards because I didn't know what I was going to say, and I was just going to let rip into the ocean. And the main card that came out was trust. I am safe, I am secure, in love I trust, my faith endures from my witch deck, and Mintakan, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. This Walnut today today has been so fucking hard. I have cried. I have cried after daycare drop off. I cried at the train station. I cried on the train. I cried when I got to work. I am in such another form of transition in my motherhood journey, but in the separation journey, in everything. And it is all coming back down to trust in myself, in my space, in my thoughts, just trusting in myself. And I really love this longing for home, belonging, and the original light workers, just like the journey to peace, the feeling of just just peace. That's all that's kind of like popping up in my head. Walnut, what? Laz, why were you crying? Why are you saying that you're crying and then not telling us the story time? I where do I feel so conflicted with Walnut Wednesday, the podcast, because I'm not ready. I don't know if I'm ready to share any like big learnings and lessons, but I have everything this weekend, everything this week has just been so heavy. And themes that I am that are coming back to me or whatever, or like little affirmations that are repeated back to me from friends is again, like I said in episode like 300, I'm so proud of you. You're such a great mum, you're such a good friend, like all of these things, and they just come back to the the journey to trust myself and the journey to continue on, um, being brave and doing doing things for something outside of you, but it's for you. And I can't. I'm getting messaging that's like just reaffirming that I am making the right decisions for me and my family. Um, and I'm making the right decisions for my peace. And I will continue to do those. And I had a friend visit, and things are just hard for me at the moment. I never know what I'm going to be like from day to day. And I said, "Oh, you caught me on a really off day. I'm sorry, I'm not my best self. Da di da di da da." And they said, "Oh my, well, if that's not your bloody best self, um, you should be so bloody proud at how strong you are because, So I just am like, oh my goodness, and I'm so proud of myself that I can just cry at work and be okay with crying at work and not making it feel like some dirty little secret because I am going through something. It's all things, right? So anyway, it is the eve before Walnut Wednesday turns 6, and I would have loved to have prepared properly and done a little lap down memory lane and did all these things that I have pre-prepared and do a giveaway and do a celebration. I do actually have like a bunch of walnut mugs in my book and things to give away. So if you are listening to this and you do share, make sure you tag me and I can send you a Walnut Wednesday goodie. I would love to do that for you. Because I need to declutter and I need to get stuff gone. Um, so let's do that. Let's do that. But yeah, again, now I'm just waffling on. Um, I had another story time I wanted to share with you where a friend of mine, this relates to motherhood, but it will come back to like just walnuthood in general. But um, she sent a voice note to our group chat and was sort of just asking for advice, and she was saying, I I normally go to this like group thing, but I don't want to because of health stuff, um, and I don't want to take my baby there and da 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 blah blah blah. And she's like, "Am I overreacting?" Because the friend I talked to like kind of made me feel like maybe I was overreacting a little bit. I don't know. And so now I'm like, "Oh, am I doing the right thing?" And da 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 da. And and the answer to me and the important sharing and learning comes back to that trust card as well, Walnut, is I had to pause. I didn't even hear like the story time. I had to pause and I had to say, no, you are not overreacting. If it feels incorrect, you are not overreacting. And I think um just in our we have become where am I? All these words are coming out, Walnut, and now I'm starting to get all emotional and sad again. Somewhere along the way, Walnut, whether whether it started with self-confidence or the environments that I was in or the situations I was in, somewhere along the lines, I lost the trust in myself. I lost the backing of myself. I was so unsure, and I didn't like who I was, and I kept feeling like I was trying to not stick out, but I wanted to be unique, and I don't even know what I was trying to do. And then somewhere along the bloody way, this sequence of events happened that I started this podcast. And I was growing my intuition, I was growing my confidence, I was hearing my voice get louder because it was being used. And I I did this all on my own in parallel. And I put the time into myself, I put the effort into myself, and that was through this channel of the podcast where we are here today. But that can look like so many other different things, like training for a marathon or starting to do vlogs or um, doing a reading challenge and finishing five, however it looks for you to stick to something that will make you proud of yourself when it is complete. And like, thus is me at the 300 mark, 300 episodes every single week. I can look back with complete and utter pride. Um, and now I have a completely like authentical documented journey of my life until that point. And I just I the more I'm talking about what I'm going through in my safe spaces and things like that, the more I'm opening the door to hearing stories back of where my friend needed that validation of like, am I overreacting or not? Where so many of us women, walnut women, have lost the connect to our intuition. And whether it's society or the situations or just the ever busy, highly saturated, bloody, I can't think of words. It's kind of late at night. I don't, all the things or not. I just think there is it. it makes me sad. It makes it makes me sad to see beautiful, um, complete like superhero, superhuman women, especially like mothers, um, doubt themselves over something that it's basically just something that they don't feel comfortable doing, or they or a conversation that they feel like they can't raise because their voice is not going to be like I just the rage, the sadness, the things, and then I like turn all of that around and I look at myself in this little things that all of these story times reflect upon me, and I think, God damn, we are sacred, beautiful, powerful beings, and how the hell do we get up each day and make it look the way it looks? Do you know what I mean? Kate and I always kind of joke that we wish we could just be the crash out like you see in the movies where like they just like up and leave their whole entire lives and like get a one-way ticket to somewhere and just have, ditch it all. But we do not. We're because we care too much. Um anyway, so I was crying today. Where did I go? This has been a long, oh, I don't know. I was crying today because today is one of the first days that the childcare of my master, my baby, changes, and it's my first night during the week without him. He's gone to a different house, and um that was a lot to handle, and it comes with it that it's a similar feeling to, and I think only a walnut mama will resonate with this, but the feeling of dropping them off at daycare, much how I imagine this transition to school will be. But I just there is this worry, there is this longing and missing. Um, and then that just brings up fears of, um, am I doing the right thing? And, like my friend wanting the assurance of thinking that she's overreacting, it's am I doing right? Am I making the right decisions? Um, and then really coming back and having conversations with myself in my head, um, in complete knowing that I am, and just having to go through the feelings as they come up and roll with them. It is so hard to have all of these spiraling thoughts and feelings about how to shape and mold a beautiful, innocent human into the man or woman that they're gonna become, and influence that in a way um, where they consistently feel safe. And I just think for a long time I just didn't feel safe, and not like physically like safe from like physical harm, but um I just I can't even put to words, Walnut, how far I have come. I just am really proud of myself. I'm really proud of myself, Walnut, that I've been going through so much for so long. And in that time, I have still cultivated Walnut Wednesday as a movement, as a podcast, as a book, as a service. Um, and I have done that. I did that. I'm doing it. And I just think I don't really have any I should have done notes, right? I shouldn't have done notes. I'm really sorry. This is the really waffly episode because I can't tell you. I'm not in the space to do the details. But I am in a space, Walnut, to tell you that what I have noticed since being initiated into motherhood is this wonderful warmth and camaraderie between women, mothers, friends, sisters, this divine, feminine, empress, priestess, delicious energy where I I am crumbling. I am there. It's in two parts. I am crumbling, and it is hard, and I feel silly. I feel conflicted, yet I feel held. I feel empowered. I feel loved, and I feel safe because of the village, because of the work that I have done on myself to be able to have that reflected in the people who are around me and who I choose to have in my safe place as my safe people. Uh so that is all I want to share, I think. I'm in my room all moved around. I'm looking at there's so much triggering uh around around me, but I am making it peaceful and I am making it beautiful and I am making it my own. And I am making it make sense and I am making myself whole while missing my baby, uh, reflecting on the life I have lived and um, thinking fondly on the life I will live. Um, and it will be peaceful and it is peaceful. I feel peace at present. Um, but I guess 6 years on, did I think 6 years ago, airing episode 1, I would be sitting here like fluctuating into tears and into empowerment, um, separated, a mum, a fur mum, um, living in a big old house on her own? I don't think I would have thought of that that's where I would be at. Um, but I did know 6 years ago, airing this episode, that it would lead to somewhere where I feel pride in myself. And and I do. And I just I just know, Walnut, that we can do hard things. We can we can survive hard things and um we can be surviving and still be able to be held and see beautifulness and deliciousness even when it does feel like isolation and alone, because we objectively know that we're not. Anyway, I think I'll wrap up because this is just a nothing episode, isn't it? But I hope that Walnut Wednesday across these 6 years has empowered you to be brave, be yourself, and know that you can make the world, your world, a better place just by what you decide today. So may you, Walnut, big or small, and may you know so deep in your soul that you are not alone. I have been messaging today with a walnut who is going through a similar situation, and you honestly couldn't write, you couldn't, everything is similar. Everything in the stories is similar. So just know, just know, Walnut, that I see you and that there is another Walnut seeing you and hearing you, and how special and divine you are. And everything is leading up to where it needs to lead up for you to make that decision to be brave. Um, no, in whatever way that looks like for you. So 6 years of Walnut Wednesday. I feel solemn, but I feel proud. And when you're listening to this episode, I think I'm going to order a cake or some cupcakes, um, have a glass of wine since I'm child-free, and honor myself. Maybe watch a horror movie, maybe cry. I don't know. But I will reflect. I will reflect on 6 years of Walnut Wednesday, 6 years of you hearing my story times, and may there be many, many more. But yeah, I hope, I don't know. Thank you for listening to the end of this episode, which does feel like a nothing episode, but also just a time to reflect and a time to just know know yourself. You are not lost. You are not lost with anything to do with your intuition and your feelings. And if something feels off, it is. I back you. You are not we don't gaslight ourselves here in this space anymore. We don't benefit of the doubt anymore. We don't um hope for change. We are the change. And we've got this. Happy Walnut Wednesday. Thank you for being here for 6 years and to the end of this episode. And if you do a little screenshot and share and just say happy birthday Walnut Wednesday, I'll flick you a message and I'll send you out either the mug or a copy of the book, whatever's on the shelf for me to declutter and clean house. So happy Walnut Wednesday. Thank you so very much. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye.